Representative Sredzinski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Although I have several concerns with the budget before us today, I'd like to draw the Chamber's attention to Section 33 of the bill before us. Beginning in line 242, there's language in this bill that modifies the amount the governor can transfer from one line item to another. Right now, current law allows for a $50,000 transfer. So the governor and the executive branch can transfer up to $50,000 between line items without any approval or consult from legislative authority. The bill before us increases it, not double, not triple, but 3.5 times the amount of money that we're allowing the governor to transfer. It increases the threshold from $50,000 to $175,000. If the bill passes today, the governor will have the authority to transfer up to $175,000 without any consult from the legislature or the Finance Advisory Committee. Prior to my election as a state representative, I had the honor of serving as a town councilman for the town of Monroe, almost continuously for 9 years. For the last year, I was a town council chairperson. And the reason I bring this up is to draw some comparisons between local and state governments. In the local government, we followed checks and balances, and we had a very clear and balanced way in which we can rule on line item transfers. We had limitations on the amount of money we could transfer, based on the amounts of money, based on the timing during the time of the fiscal year, and on the subject of where the money was being spent, particularly when it came to education funding. The reasons for the limitations was a clear check and balances on the government that we had that existed. The town council, which I served on, was the legislative body. We had the Board of Finance, the Board of Education, and the First Selectman. And we all had to work together with checks and balances to make sure that we were doing the best job for the citizens of Monroe. These checks and balances were important because it allowed not one of us to take too much authority on the budget, to take too much power, and not to have too much authority over where the money is spent, where the tax dollars are being spent. The checks and balances at the state level, I would argue, are just as important. Today, Friday the 13th, we are here today giving away our authority. We are giving the legislature's authority away to the governor and the executive branch by allowing that threshold to increase from $50,000 to $175,000. We are abandoning our responsibility over hundreds, if not thousands, of line items in our budget and giving that authority away to the executive branch. It's irresponsible and it's frightening. We as a legislature should not be giving away this authority to another branch of government. And for this reason and for many other reasons, I stand in opposition to this budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.